Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty, and today I'll be giving you my honest thoughts about my time with Dying Light the Beast. I'm actually not far into the story, so don't expect any big story spoilers today beyond the prologue, because I can't just give my thoughts and not talk about it. It's that good. So, let's start with that, and then we'll talk about the gameplay, things changed from the demo, some actually not for the better, and so on, because there's a lot to talk about. Alright, let's cut right to the chase. The beginning of this game is fucking incredible, seriously. In my opinion, the strongest opening of any Dying Light game, putting you into crazy, high-energy scenarios within a prison break-like sequence. Strangely, it did remind me of the beginning of Dead Rising 4, but in a good way. I love a good running set piece, having to slide under the closing vault doors, straight up pulling an Indiana Jones moment. Also, the fact that the story starts with not only Spike but Aiden breaking you out, or attempting to, is not the way I expected them to be brought back. Now, after you escape is when I got to see the couple story missions I tried a few months back at the preview event, and for the most part, they're the exact same, besides one thing. They have stripped out what feels like half the cinematic cutscenes from this game, and I'm not really sure how to feel about it. One of my favorite things from the first couple times I played was seeing Kyle's emotions, seeing things from a different angle than you normally would, seeing it like a movie. And some of those cutscenes are still there, but a lot of what I remembered is not. In my mind, they probably went through and thought, does this need to be in third person, or can we just allow the player to be immersed in first person like before? And I get that sentiment, I really do. But man, even with the wonky face animations, it was charming to see Kyle talking to a radio, and instead now you're just sort of staring at the ground, and that's kind of it. It's a little boring, I have to admit. And to be honest, I'm not far into the story, but what I played so far wasn't really grabbing me like how I wanted it to. But I have been spoiled on a lot of the crazier shit to come along in the story, so I'm very pumped for that part of it. If you know, you know. So, with the story out of the way, what did I think of the gameplay? More specifically, the combat, and honestly, I think it's just okay. I've seen a lot of complaints about this, and rightfully so. The grabbing feels much more obnoxious than the past couple times I played at least. Like in the demo, I thought they toned it back, but I don't think so. But if anything, I think the combat is held back, at least early on, by the stamina. You swing 4 to 5 times and you're exhausted, so you have to back up and wait for yourself to recharge. It just gets a little bit old after a while. And it made fights slow, especially when you're taking on groups. I know that as you level up, you gain more stamina, and so I think the intent is to make you feel underpowered from the beginning, to make you play more tactically. And so I think a lot of people will like this, but at least at the stage I'm at in the game, I know a lot of you are further ahead, it did hinder the experience a little bit. And it doesn't help that you gain XP really slow. Like, I wish you'd get more XP for parkour. And speaking of parkour, it does feel very similar to the second game. And in fact, I do prefer the quickness of Aiden more than the slow, deliberate Kyle that we got now. Does that mean that I prefer Dying Light 2's parkour? I'm not sure yet. You definitely have less to parkour on this time though. And a lot of the time I found myself leaning towards driving, as the truck physics are honestly perfect. I hope this game allows for custom map support at some point, because you could create some really fun races with this thing. And if you don't know, there are actually races around Castor Woods, and they pop up through a side quest called the Fast and the Fortunate. They won't appear until you do that. But once you finish that, they'll then start appearing around the map. They're good quick fun to switch it up every once in a while. I do wish in general there are more challenges though, like I know there's not a lot to parkour on, but they could have fit a few time trials into Old Town. Or to push it further, and one idea I had, even though I'm not a game developer so I don't really know how hard this would be to make, but make a little soccer mini game. The game already has a full court with surprisingly great ball kicking physics, so take advantage of it. Moving on, the co-op is pretty smooth from my experience. The third person animation sometimes looked a little off, but overall I thought cross progression worked really well. It's fun tag teaming the Baron's men, just kicking them back and forth, but I gotta say, there's a lot of modders in this game already. Like, all the power to ya, it's a single player game, but it honestly was impressive how many of the random games I joined were ran by modders, leaping through the sky and just killing everything in one hit. But some people just want to be an unstoppable madman flying through the sky, and at a certain point, I get it. So on another note, I've explored a lot of the map at this point, a good portion I would say, and I'm continuously stunned by how many underground areas there truly are. Everything from caves to bunkers to mine shafts to basements, a lot of them you come across accidentally, and some of them I still don't know how to get into. I really did thoroughly enjoy searching through places, sort of giving me vibes of exploring the outskirts in Red Dead Redemption 2. Very different games, but I just kinda got that vibe when I came across something really random out in the open world. However, I can't say the rewards were always worth it, especially in places like Dark Zones. Alright, here's another controversial take. I wouldn't mind having the paraglider from the second game. In fact, I actually kinda miss it a little bit. I actually do. It's kind of built into my Dying Light DNA because I played the second game for so long, so every time I climb up a tower or something, I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta find my own way down. I'm used to being able to soar across the sky, get that view, and I guess you can kinda get that through the antenna towers. They're a decent way to get from one part of the map to the next without running into a zombie or the Baron's men. There's also no fast travel, so this is pretty much your best option. As for the technical performance, it's a topic very few find interesting, but I will say there were some very funny bugs. Oh, hi. What are you doing? I didn't experience anything game breaking, just mostly weird texture stuff. Actually, I will say there is one really annoying bug, but I'm pretty sure it's been fixed, and that's the day and night cycle getting stuck. With this bug, that would also mean chases can start in the day as well, and those were actually kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie, but if it was permanent, they would get pretty old quick. Anyways, with that said, those were just some of my initial impressions, and I'm sure I'll make a full-on review at some point. I'll dive into more detail once I actually finish the story, completed more side quests, find more guns, and generally progress a bit more, because in terms of story, there's still a lot I have to see. I just hope it's as cool as some of you are making it sound. Overall, it's been fun though, but what do you think? What would you like to see improved? Talk about it all in the comments, as that's it from me for today. Feel free to like the video, subscribe if you enjoyed, and stop by for the next one, folks. Have a great day. Adios.